And we're back, guys. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute, but it's late night. So, this is the Tennis After Dark segment where we just give you a rundown of tennis for the day. Now, Alycia Park, she's doing her thing, ladies and gentlemen. She's in Italy and she is playing some good ball right now. 4-1 on grass for the year, and she's trying to make another championship final. Taking on Susan Bendeschi from Switzerland, who's also hot. She's won 5 in a row. And this is going to be a very good match. Before we get to this match, guys, I do want to talk about the Olympics. We have several Americans pulling out of the France Games. And it seems to me like, unlike any other point in history, we have players that are just not interested in representing their country. Now, that could be possibly a bit extreme. So let's keep it simple. We have a lot of players. We're talking about tennis only, right? Because the other sports, it seems like the players are lining up to represent their country. We have players that are residents of the USA with family ties to other countries and nations that are lining up to play for those countries. The Olympics is a big deal, but when it comes to tennis, it surely seems like players just don't care. What do you think? I mean, am I exaggerating a bit? Am I just pushing the issue a little too much? What do you guys think? Because we have some big names that are pulling out of these French games, and I don't know what the reason is. Now, do some of these players think they have zero chance of medaling? Is that what it's really about? Or are they really concerned with the transition from grass back to clay? Is that really an issue? Because clay is the easiest surface on your joints. I don't think that should be a big transition in terms of health wise. What do you guys think? Madison Keys is out. She is not going to France. Emma Navarro takes her spot. Interesting. Big foe. Now, he did suffer an injury scare. That's understandable. Sebastian Corda. I don't know, guys. What do you think? There's a lot going on here. Am I overreacting? Do players not want to represent their country anymore? Is that a thing or what? What do you guys think? I don't know. Comment below. I've always felt that having the opportunity to represent your country in your profession was a big deal. The Olympics comes around once every 4 years. That's a huge deal. No? What do you guys think? The opportunity to win gold. I think that's something you cherish, right? Even if you feel you don't have a chance to win, look at the early 1980s, right? The Miracle on Ice. I wasn't even born yet. Insane, right? We talk about that still to this day. It's a miracle. And I don't know, are these players scared of Iga? Because it's not just the Americans. It's Ons, Sabalenka, Emma. There's a lot going on the WTA. I feel that these players think Iga might be too good. There's no point. And look, if you entered a tournament knowing that you're playing for second or third, why enter? If you know you're not going to win, why enter? Is Iga that dominant, guys? What is going on? To me, it's alarming. But then again, if we go back to the Japan games, there was a lot going on there too. I mean, players, it was hot there. Players were withdrawing due to the heat. They were there already. And they said, no, I'm not playing. So I don't know. Maybe the Olympics just it's just not what it is. Maybe it's just not what I think it is. I've always thought it was a big deal to represent your country, but maybe not. It's possible. It's pretty darn possible. But let's get into it, guys. We have Alycia Parks taking on Bandishi. Now, this is going to be a good match here. These two ladies are hot. Parks has won 4 in a row, and Bandishi has won 5 in a row. Now, they've never played each other, but the thing with Parks is this. And yesterday we went 9 for 11 in free picks. 9 for 11, not too shabby, right? That's okay. It's all right, guys. I could have went 11 for 11, but I didn't do picks yesterday because a little too tired, guys. A little too tired. I wasn't going to tell you to take Parks to beat Montgomery. I had Pegula over Katarina, but just a little too tired. So Parks, here's the thing with Parks, right? Her power changes everything, right? So the match with who'd she face? Tadoni and Robin Montgomery. 2 players that are playing solid tennis, that are very good players. But when you're facing someone as strong as Alycia Parks, the game plan goes out the window. Why? Because you can't return comfortably. You can't work yourself into rallies. Excuse me. You can't work yourself into rallies because her power dictates the pace and the tempo. So it's very tough playing. And look at her serve. How can you return? How can you defend properly with her power? So she changes the game plan. And this is a matchup here where I just think Susan's going to be under too much pressure here. Now, Susan, again, she's having a good season. She's the older opponent here. She's got Parks by a couple years. She's been on tour for a while. She's a solid player. But, again, I mean, she's never had a ranking inside the top 150. She does have lower level titles, but Alycia Parks, the way she's played, she should be able to clock herself into the final here with that 130-mile-an-hour serve. I like Alycia Parks to get the victory here. She's just too strong. Unless she has a bad day where she puts up, 14 double faults and it's just not working for her, I don't see any way Susan's going to beat Parks in this spot. So I like Alycia Parks. She's finally a favorite now. She's been an underdog all week long. So rightfully so. Sara Eraniiiiiiii. Let's go, guys. Taking on Bernarda Pera. This is going to be a good match here now. Irani, we all know she's an amazing doubles player. She's been to numerous slam championships when it comes to doubles. She's the 4th seed here, taking on Pera, who's also seeded in this tournament. They've played twice, and the head-to-head is 1-1. The only time they've played on clay, actually, believe it or not, Pera won that. Irani lost it. They've never played on grass. This is a grass semifinal. Now, I've talked about Irani and how she reached 700 wins for her career, right? She's approaching 400 wins on clay for her career. She's a veteran, and she talked about in the post-match interview after making it to the championship in France before facing Coco and Katarina with her doubles partner, Jasmine Paolini. She talked about how she doesn't have many tournaments left and just cherishing the moment. This is going to be a bad matchup. It's a faster surface. I do give, even at her age, Irani the athletic ability, but there's going to be a big power difference in this match. And Bernarda Pera is not the type to go long rallies. She's aggressive. She likes to hit her left forehand down the line, and she's just going to push the pace. If Irani can get balls back, she'll win service games and she'll hold. But if for any minute Pera dictates the pace and tempo with her power, there's just nothing Irani's going to be able to do. So I'll take Bernarda Pera to win this match. And Ayla Tomljanovic taking on Potapova gone wild. Now, Potapova is very passionate about her skill, her game. Anytime she makes a mistake, she's liable to snap. And I give her a pass because I feel she's that good of a competitor that she really wants to do. She's a perfectionist. She wants to do everything right. Taking on Isla, who I say time and time again is one of the toughest players on tour. I think people are finally starting to realize what I've been saying for a long time. Look, I'm a good judge of character. If I say something, it's probably true. And the thing about it is, it's all about good energy, just telling the truth, speaking the truth, and just shedding light on things that are true. I think Isla's so tough. I think mentally she's just so good. She wears opponents out. You saw today, she just wore Layla out. Layla started taking literally all day, using the whole service clock just to get her serves in, walking on the line, bouncing the ball, catching her breath. This is what I've been saying for so long. And you get so many haters. It's like there's so many players on tour. If someone doesn't like the player, they just want to say bad things about them. I'm not going to tolerate talking trash about Isla. And for the most part, I don't tolerate it with any player, right? Respect these players, show them love, stop nitpicking about little things here and there. Just cut it out, okay? This channel consists of adults, okay? I have all the demographics, everything. This channel, people that come here are adults. So stop bashing these players. I'm sick of it. Okay, stop nitpicking about stuff that's ridiculous. It needs to stop. This is a small tennis network. We don't have time. It's about good energy. We don't have time for people having a bad day talking trash about the players. Okay, there are so many other big tennis channels out there that you can go through, blend in with the comments and all the hate and negativity, and just have a field day like a pig rolling around in shh. Okay, but here, show the players love. That's the theme, good energy. Look, fair criticism is good. Someone has a bad match, if you're, talking about how they can improve, that's all good. But just hating on players with stuff that has nothing to do with their game, it needs to stop. And when someone wins a match, give them credit for winning the match. Stop talking trash. If that's your favorite player, okay, it's understandable. But don't talk trash about the person that beat them. It's ridiculous. And this is a match here where Potapova, she's going to have to keep her cool. Because Isla's going to take her into deep water. And I've been saying time and time again, Isla does not quit. She's not an easy out. She's going to fight and fight and fight. And that's what life is about. Just fighting and just show up and fight. Just be available. And the results will happen. And I say it all the time. Look, that's the old Sofia Kenin, right? The old Sofia Kenin was like that. Just show up and fight. I say it all the time. She's not the most athletic. She's not the strongest, right? But she fights for every point. And that's what Isla does. And this is a match here. We're going to take the first set over 8.5. Come on, both ladies are going to hold. You know that. Aryna Sabalenka hits hard. Boy, does she scare me. Taking on Anna Kalinskaya from the Federation. These two ladies, they know each other. This is going to be a good match. Now, listen, guys. I feel that Sabalenka's flying under the radar, isn't it? And that's scary. That's scary to me. Because it seems like she has a renewed focus. And I'm telling you guys, she's not going to the Olympics because she knows she's not going to win gold. Her goal, her dream, she's already won a couple slams. Her goal as a tennis player right now is to finish the season ranked #1. That's her goal. And listen, guys, we're going to Saudi Arabia. We're going to be there. Okay? We're going to the WTA finals. Listen, her goal is to finish the season ranked #1. She wants that goal so bad, she's not even going to the Olympics to finish for silver. She wants to finish the season ranked #1. Now, taking on Kalinskaya, someone, for the most part, she's She's dominated. I mean, she's won 3 of the 4 times they've played. The last time they played was a couple of years ago in Cincinnati when Kalinskaya had that just horrible season where she was retiring 1 out of every 4 matches. Horrible. I feel she's strengthened her body a bit. She's performing a lot better. She's not as vulnerable with the injuries. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But then again, a lot of players were saying the feedback was, she was kind of doing it on purpose. I mean, I've called several matches where she was calling for the physio and arguing with players, and it was a nightmare. I do feel that she is maturing, and Sabalenka had her period as well where she needed to mature as a person and a player. And I feel right now Sabalenka she's such a beautiful person, right? She seems like she's gone through the things she's needed to go through to be just a better player overall. Here's the problem with this matchup for Anna. She can get balls back, she can defend, but she does not have the power to really disrupt what Sabalenka wants to do. Power in tennis is a big weapon. It's a big tool, guys, right? There's a big difference in someone that's serving 120 miles per hour versus someone serving 105 or 6 miles per hour. It's going to be very tough to gain an edge in each rally when you're facing someone so strong. And Sabalenka is very, very powerful. Now, if I were coaching Kalinskaya, we have to attack the corners. We have to go deep to the corners. Kalinskaya is a really good shot maker, but the problem is she plays possum. She doesn't really use her explosiveness. She's very athletic, okay? She's very fast, but she doesn't use it. She would much rather be like a Sloane Stephens and just exchange blow for blows, try to construct the point without using her athletic ability. But she has it, and if she's going to win this match, she's going to have to use it, or her best game plan is going to be to attack the corners left and right with deep balls, making Sabalenka return her power at angles. That's the only way she's going to try and force these unforced errors, but I just feel Sabalenka is going to be too strong. I like Sabalenka to win this match. Up next, big game, Sofia Kenin. Listen, guys, I don't care if you call her Sonia or Sophia. Just don't leave out the big game. Taking on Dacia from the Federation by way of Australia, or should I say from Australia by way of Moscow. Now, Saville, she's been very active. She's been playing some solid tennis, even though an early exit last tournament. Sofia Kenin, this is the matchup that's right up her alley. And to me, this is going to be a match where I gauge her level, right? She's taking on the older opponent, who's slightly older, not much, I mean, she's 30 years old. I think Sophia, I'm not sure. How old is Sophia? She's got to be like 25 now, right? I know Dash is 30. Sophia's got to be like 24, 25. So she's playing the older opponent, former top 5 player, ranked number 4 now. Sophia's goal also was to be number 1. I remember watching the videos of her as a younger child just practicing. Venus Williams gave her big start, in case you guys don't know. Venus Williams was very big in a lot of these players' career. And it's beautiful to see how far Sofia Kenin has come. But she's having an abhorrent season. She's 6-14. She looks horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be her first grass match. She went 6-3 last year on grass. Now, she did make it to the 3rd round of the French Open before losing to Clara Tauson. She beat Kelly Garcia, Laura Sigmund. But again, this is a matchup here that's going to gauge her level. She's taking on someone in Dacia who doesn't have the power that can frustrate a Kenin, but she has the athletic ability, the stamina, and she's the type to go long rallies. So I feel Dacia's only way to beat Kenin is to wear her out physically. I will give the physical edge to Dacia. I think Daria Saville is very fit. She's a defensive player. She's going to have the upper hand in these rallies if they get past 9, 10, 11 shots. But I'm going to take Kenin to win at least one set. That's a pick. I think she can win a set. I think Kenin should win the match, to be honest with you. But again, This is her first grass match. Saville does own the head-to-head. They played recently, and she handed out a breadstick to Sofia Kenin the last time they played. And even though it was on hard, it was in Hobart early in the season, but I like Kenin to win a set. I think Kenin should win the match if she's game. But again, she hasn't played on grass yet. Magdalena Frax taking on Camila Osorio, the toughest player I've ever seen in my life. Again, a defensive player in Camila, taking on Magdalena, who's displaying that drop shot a lot lately, right? Trying to disrupt the opponent's momentum, trying to really change the pace, change the level. I do like that. Here's the thing with this matchup. I do give Magdalena the power advantage, but I give the athletic advantage to Camila. I think serving's about 50-50. Both ladies make a lot of faults. I would probably lean Magdalena with the serve, though. I think she's got the serve edge. I think she's got overall the power edge. I do like the athletic ability to go to Camila Osorio. I like the backhand to go to Osorio. I like the forehand to go to Magdalena. This is a pretty even match. I'm going to take the first set to go under 9.5 games, though. But I do like the second set to go over 8.5 games. I think the match overall goes over 19.5 games. There's a lot going on with this total here, but I do think the first set goes under 9.5. That's going to be a good match. And finally, Coco and Ons. Now listen, guys. I talked about this match a couple days ago, and I'm a little tired. It's been a long day, right? A long day full of meetings and accounting. And again, I have several businesses. It's a long day. I'm tired. So this is why this is the Tennis After Dark segment where we're taking a look at these matches. And this is the match here I just want to talk about a little bit more. Coco, in my opinion, has a great opportunity to win this tournament. I felt last match against Ekaterina was going to be her test. Now, Ons is really, really good on grass, but you guys have to realize how good Coco is. And the reason why I'm a big supporter of Coco is when I see how she just doesn't get the credit she deserves. Now, a lot of it is casual tennis fans that just follow the media and they read the stories. And I say it all the time. In terms of tennis media for the WTA, Coco's by far the most popular. Every day she has at least 10 to 15 stories that people write about her. And most of them are positive. But occasionally you have these stories that come out and people run with it. And for the casual fans that haven't watched her and they don't know about her winning junior slams and orange bowls, they don't know about her, the win streaks and the tournaments and how she's the most accomplished player out of this current top 10 in terms of her teenage years. If they don't really follow tennis, they don't know this stuff, right? And one point I want to point out is she's played Ons 7 times. Ons is the best shot maker in the world. She's beat Ons 5 of the 7 times. That's insane, guys. Ons is really, really good. And Coco just turned 20. She's been beating Ons since she was a young teenager. People don't realize how good she is. And a lot of it's ignorance and hate. We know that. We understand that, right? But the reality here is the only time they played on grass a couple of years ago in Berlin, Ons won that match. So the question is, can Ons win this match? Now, I personally said that if Coco gets past Ekaterina, I think she'll find herself in the championship, and I think she'll win. I also like Coco to win Wimbledon. Coco has to win one of these titles. Okay, she's going to be over in France at the Olympics. She's going to lose the points, 500 points in DC. Sabalenka's on her heels, trailing by 200 points. Sabalenka wants number 2, and her goal is to get number 1. And I think Coco knows that. Here's the problem. Ons is a really good shot maker, but grass is just so fast of a surface. And the way Coco handled Ekaterina, she's not going to have that power issue with Ons. She can handle the power of Ons. What Ons needs to do to beat Coco is stretch the court. She's going to have to stretch the court, especially going from her right to left, to force Coco to just have to make awkward, uncomfortable shots with her forehand. But I think the athletic ability of Coco, the ability to come forward and hit passing shots against Ons and defend the drop shot. Grass is very tough to defend drop shots. It's extremely difficult to defend drop shots on grass. It's nearly impossible because once that ball hits the grass, it doesn't have that extended bounce like hard or even clay for that matter. But the problem is Coco's so fast, I think she can cover them. Take away On's drop shot in her slice, we're talking forehand to backhand on a very fast surface, and I think Coco can win these exchanges. Coco might struggle in the first set again like she did with the Katarina, but there's no way Ons is going to win this match in two because Coco's so tough. She's very difficult to put away, right? Now, if we take Iga out the equation, take Iga out all of these draws that Coco's played in. Coco probably has several slams and a lot more championships. Iga's not in this draw, so this is a prime opportunity for Coco to pick up another WTA 500 championship. And she's going to have to go through Ons to do it. And I like Coco to win this match. That is the pick, guys. Enjoy the matches today. I will be covering them as well. Tennis in a minute.